Yo, what up, agency? It's Mensah Bey, aka Agent M Bay, and I got a video here talking about art scams. I'm doing this for educational purposes, but it is based on a true story. One thing I want to say before getting into the content and info is that hard work is the only way to success. Even people who seemingly get it off easy, that you can trace back the hard work that led to that point. Even if it's somebody that's scamming, they're putting in a lot of work to get what it is they get. So the point is, there's no easy come up. Everything got a decent little backstory to get you where you want. So this story here is going to tie in to, that idea that you can get that easy, quick come up. Everything's got a connection, and so um, bump it. Let's get into this game. I'm gonna try to freestyle this as far as getting right into the content or whatever. One taking it. So the year is, let me set the tone. So the year is 2018. I'm fresh out of my graduate program, like super fresh out of graduating from my graduate program. Um, just had two exhibitions, my graduate exhibition, and then in April I had an exhibition at a coffee shop, pretty popping out in Virginia, and I'm feeling good. You know what I mean? I got work working at the I got work working at the museum. I think I might be teaching at this point too. Yeah, I think I just did a project down at Virginia Beach, um, doing the pavement out there. So I done a few things. That might have been that year. I done a few things at this point. You know what I mean? My career is coming up. I'm seeing what the signs are, blah, blah, blah. I'm there. I got a website, right? Mbeyarts.com. I get a message through the website saying I just got a message, about through my contact page. And so I go check it out. And it's a woman. Now let me go. Yeah, I get an email. Boom. About an art purchase, potential art purchase. And so this woman hits me up. Initials BC. It might come up later. So I get this message right here. She's, asking about work and family for one. I picked interest in your artwork, decided to write you. Can your artwork be purchased and shipped internationally? Um, hold up, man. Why y'all not showing me? I want to see me too. I forget it. Asking about payment, quote, kindly let me know, are you in the office ready to make whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is a story talking about being naive. What happens in these situations is the scammer just plays to your hope, you know what I mean, your sense of hope. And everybody has a dream that they want to fulfill. Or for those that do have dreams they want to fulfill, when they see an opportunity that seems like it can help them get there, they're much more likely to engage and investigate into it. So this is it. Boom, a lot of information, multiple signs right off the bat. How's work and family? I don't know you. You shouldn't be asking me about my work and my family. Like, this is a business page. We don't know each other. I picked interest. That's not the right word for that. You piqued interest. That's PIQUE. So you got that interest in your artworks and decide to write you, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, where somebody found my website and they interested in my artwork. I'm lit. You know what I mean? Oh, wait a minute. I responded 8 days later, so I haven't even graduated from my program yet. I was like, it might have been the day before I graduated. Honestly, I need to double check that. But anyway, asked about shipping internationally. I'm like, oh, I'm lit. Like, I'm thinking, like I said, I've been doing things up to this point. So I'm like, yo, I'm lit. Like, somebody hollered at me, it's about to be on. Can I email the artwork of interest, saying that they want to scroll my website, see what they want, and asking about payment straight up, boo, 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 confirm purchase with a quotation. That was a little weird to me. I'm like, a quotation with like the quotation marks. Hold on, man. I want to. Yeah, there I go. Hey, I'm in here now. Boom. Quotations. Like, oh, so you want the quotes like that? The quotation, instead of a quote. But I'm like, quotation, quote. I get it. I see what you're saying. Boom. And then all right, so ship internationally. I'm gonna get into my mind at this point too. So when I read internationally, we probably tend to do this. We being from wherever you're from, or being from the States, we got this bravado, like, you know, anybody not from the States or speaks our form of English here will likely speak in a broken English, or you know, some other versions. Or like it's almost as if that people are less intelligent, or you know, don't have the intellect to put together. Like, but like if I started trying to speak Spanish, I know it's gonna sound like, you know, a little crazy to somebody that actually speaks it um as their first language. So either way, you know, I'm reading into this. I'm like, internationally, I don't even know where you're from, so you could just be writing this way, you know, for this reason. Kind of let me know you're in the office. I don't got an office. I live in you know, I'm working out my crib, so I'm like, office. I was like, but you don't know me, so that's why you're just saying office. You're trying to be professional, quote unquote. Boo, boo, boo. Artwork, let me know. Boom. Asking about card, another sign, like asking about card information off the rip. Like, yeah, you should, but like, you got to discuss some other things before you get to the payment. You know what I mean? Unless you already got a payment thing set up, that's another thing I got to remember to get to. But unless you got another thing, unless you got something set up already to where people can just pay straight through, bad sign asking about payments. So you got to get that stuff set up. It's important. Best regards, Barbara. Well, there you go, BC. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't reply back. Did I have my reply? Let me see. Yeah, I do. So here's my reply. 8 days later, I hit her back. So I was too busy at this point. I had like an exhibition, I had my thesis exhibition, my thesis and my graduation like 3 days, or the thesis exhibition and thesis defense was the same day, and then I had graduation like a day after. So I was on the road. I ain't had time to respond to stuff like this. So here we go. Hi, Barbara. Thank you for your interest. My art is for sale. Obviously, we could discuss your options for purchase and shipping. Let me know which works you want. Blah blah blah. So that's that. I ain't gonna show you which works. It ain't that serious. And why they take me off the screenshot? Show me. And so boom, I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Let's do that. I got notes, so I gotta make sure I stay in queue. Part one of the notes, please. Where my mouse at? Boom. So yeah, I responded kind. I send her a list of the artworks. What does it say? Before I work in at. Oh, so yeah, this is all happening before I worked at art handling. So I send her a list of the artworks, right? Do I got a picture of that? No. That's the next section. So I send her a list of the artworks. Let me stop the share for a second. Send her a list of the artworks. Boom. Here go the artworks. Here go the cost. I showed her which ones was available. No, she sent me the list. Yeah, no, that's what it was. She sent me a list of the artworks that she was interested in off my website. So she scrolled, put all the information down. I'm saying she because it's the name I was given, but easily could have been anybody, could have been a man. So send me that. I'm like, all right, cool. So in the emails I asked, all right, so where internationally? Because I got to start exploring like shipping options and blah, 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 blah. Again, I haven't worked in art handling at this point, so I don't even know what it's like to ship artwork. Shoot, I don't even think I've shipped any like major artwork in the country at this point. So I'm like, yeah, I need some, you know, assistance when it comes to this. So I need some more information. Send me information. Said that she was lived in the Faroe Islands, not spelled the way you're probably thinking. So I'm gonna have to go through this. Let me hit the share screen again. This one. Yeah. Boom. So she tells me the Faroe Islands, right? And by Faroe, I mean Faroe Islands. Now you probably wonder where this was. This Northern Isles. You're probably curious. Where is this at? Where's the Faroe Islands? Let me show you. In the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm naive, I'm hype, I'm lit. I'm like, yo, I'm looking for any opportunity. So this is some islands. I'm like, oh, this is dope. Like, this is some islands that I didn't know existed in between Iceland and the UK. You know what I mean? Like Scotland down here. I'm like, okay, this could be a thing. But I will say around this point, I'm definitely getting a little, you know, I've been fishy already, but I'm like, it's kind of fishy, but I'm gonna play through it. I'm gonna see what it, you know, see if it's a real thing or not. So, you know, at some point I probably started researching we're researching this woman's name, see if I could find her, see if there's some information about her, see if she blah, blah, blah. And I, you know, I didn't find a specific thing. I did find something and I was like, that was like, it looked loosely related. So what your mind does when you think you want this is you start to think that you start to make connections that ain't really there because you think you want it so bad. You want it to be true. And so you start to connect these things. So you're like, all right, so I think she like potentially worked in like the museum or environment field, and so like it was enough for me to be like, this person lives or works close enough to this place that it could be this person. And you know, I'm not good at asking questions about stuff. I just kind of roll with it, you know, as opposed to being like, yo, who are you? What is this? Blah blah blah. I ain't really good at that. That's on me. But I took it, you know, I didn't take it to heart. I was like, all right, let me get into this. Let me try to get this working. So, Faroe Islands. Let's get into this now. Like, I ain't got no reason to ever know that this existed or want to go there, right? But I'm like, oh, this would be a dope reason to go somewhere that I've never been before. Like, I want to explore, I want to live, you know, blah blah. So I look up the address that I was given, and I look up the address I was given. So that's this, 15 Brekutum. I don't know what I say it, but it really don't show much. Like there's this place right here, which I don't know, but I'm gonna hit the satellite view so you can see. This is where it is. Now again, this is an island, so Google ain't really hit here that good. So the images you can't even get like a street view like that. So this is it. Boom. And I think they allow you to bam. So you can't even like, you know, this ain't like you can like scroll around and look down the street or whatever. This is it. This is what is at that location. I don't know if I did this at the time, but this is that location. And I don't know if I'm supposed to assume that this was this person's home or this is where they had to get it shipped to, but we're gonna get into that conversation next. So here we there. I'm trying to figure out. So at some point, I'm trying to figure out like, yo, what's the connection? Like, why would it be? You know, why is it? I think the reason I thought that she might have worked at a museum is because whenever I researched, I might have found some of the museums. So I was like, oh, maybe there's a museum nearby, something that they're connected to. That you know, maybe they're. Now I was working at the museum, but I wasn't working art handling, so I was aware of you know some things like you know like people who donate to museums and things like that. Like sometimes they loan their artwork to a museum or something like that. So I'm thinking in that realm somewhere, right? Like, oh, maybe she blah again, making connections that ain't really there. So there was this museum there. Can they let me go right back to it? Yeah, the directions here. Let me get back to it. Not in the museum, I think it was a gallery. See if it pop up for me. Man, y'all gotta let me get to the gallery, bro. Just going back to the same thing over and over. Back to directions. Why I'm tripping. All right, so who? Boom. I ain't even gonna try to pronounce it, but this is the gallery, right? It's a gallery right here. I'll go hit the satellite view again. This is a real place. You know what I mean? I'm not denying this one. This is a real place. This gallery, they got a website, which I'm gonna hit that. Boom, right there. So it's a nice gallery. Like I'm checking this website. I'm like, oh, okay. I work at a museum. This all looks legit. Like this page looks legit. Exhibitions, got these nice page collection, nice artwork. You know what I mean? I'm seeing like for one reason, I'm like making connection. I'm seeing myself in here. Like you see this piece right here, cafe. I'm like, you know, I can see I'm in there. You know what I mean? Especially this one right here about this self-portrait. That's kind of fire. So, you know, I'm looking at this website. I'm like, all right, like if somebody and I'm assuming like if I ain't that popping where I'm at, then maybe internationally people understanding my work, people rocking with me. So I'm seeing something. I'm like, all right, I like this. I want to be connected again, making things up that ain't really there. Let me pop back, stop share real quick. So that's how that's rolling, right? And so then we get into like the deeper information, right? I get that information and I asked international. They told me, and I was like, when I asked about international, I was like, I need to know shipping costs. I was like, well, here we go. I get this long message. I don't think I saved it. I should pull it up. I get a long email right from her talking about shipping woes or shipping issues. No, this one here. Let me see if I can find it fast enough. All right. Should I have my Gmails open? Yeah, that's it right there. Boom. Whatever. So we're looking at here. You know, this is May 16th. Good to hear back from you. My address is below. And then she starts going through this information, talking about courier issues, shipping internationally, why it's such a hassle. Identifying that like FedEx, UPS, DHL are not worth it because for some reason, if you ship there, it's almost like it almost sounds like it was some crime stuff, like or some mob stuff. Like if you get stuff shipped there, then they charge you to pick up the artwork or pick up the package or freight whenever you come get it, as opposed to maybe some other delivery service that they know of, whatever, that will ship it to your home. And so she sent me this link, to a spot. It's like, yo, contact these people. Here go their website. Here go their email form, and you can give them the weight cost of everything. Blah blah blah. And unlike other couriers, they'll deliver to someone's doorstep without requesting any further payment at the point of delivery. And I'm like, well, you from where you from? You know what you talking about? Maybe, possibly, but I'm like, all right, I'll see what it is. I mean, they sent me the address out here at the Faroe Islands. Is what it is. So I'm like, all right, that's on you. I'm gonna look into it. I told her I'm gonna look into it, but I ain't gonna say that this is gonna be the answer. I'm gonna find the cheapest option because like even though the cost is gonna be on them to ship it, I want to I care to look out for my clients, my patrons. So I'm not gonna make them pay unnecessary amounts of money for something if it ain't if it ain't necessary. So I'm like, let me research this. I'm gonna look into some stuff. So I think I contacted the people with an email, hit up their website. One thing I can show you, the website, mad goofy, more science. So I'm a graphic designer by trade or by my first degree. But I do this. As a matter of fact, I do it straight from the get out of here, share screen. You know what I'm trying to do. So look, click on the website. And this used to work 3 years ago. Website can't be reached. I don't know how long it can't be. It was like this, but currently this website can't be reached. So super fraudulent. But at the time, it did exist. And as a designer, I should have known better. And I was second guessing a lot of what I was looking at the time. But again, my mental state wasn't was naive at the time. I was like, yo, this is an opportunity. I could be I'm about to be internationally popping. I should be. My work is worth that. And so, oh, there was a little jump in there. I missed something. The notes again. Wow. Boom. Picking up packages, right? Suggested shipping service. Boom, boom. I didn't wonder if that was before or after I sent the quote. No, it was after I sent the quote, right? So yeah, at this point, I'm like trying to develop a quote. You know what I'm saying? I'm marking all the prices for all the artworks. Shipping info, trying to figure that out. I hadn't really sent it yet. On a box, yeah, said okay, but still need shipping, right? So I sent it the quote. The quote was for a couple of G's, right? And so I was like, here go the quote for the artwork, but I haven't figured out the shipping stuff yet because I'm still researching. I'm like, all right, UPS, and I'm like, I just need to see what it is before I go with this one joint. The website, right? The website was mad funky, right? It didn't read well. It looked mad basic. My website looked better than it. For a professional thing, it just, it didn't have like, something where you could set up, like on UPS, you can go in there and type in your weight, size, and all that. They had none of that. I had to email them. I was like, yo, I'm trying to ship some of this size. What's up? They go to weight, size, blah, blah, blah. And they was gonna contact me back from that. And again, this is me assuming that, this is a smaller delivery company. Maybe it's because they over in the islands, blah, blah, blah. Again, like mentally just trying to make something make sense that shouldn't be making sense. So that's all there. Send a quote. She's like, cool. I'm like, oh, where are you just hype? Like, you're not gonna question the quote? I was like, that's fire. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be operating at. When I send somebody a quote and they be like, cool, run it. So send her the quote. She's like, yeah, that's cool, but I need to know the shipping information before anything is all blah blah blah. I was like, all right, ooh, I think I just realized something. Anyway, need the shipping information more than anything. So I was like, all right, cool. I was like, well, I ain't heard back. Let me contact them. So I hear back from the shipping people, and the cost is, they had like a 1 to 2 day option, then a 3 to 5 day option. So that range from like $1,000 to $1,800, right? And I was like, here go to. I sent her the quote. I was like, yo, here go to. I screenshotted this. Why I ain't got it? I should have this with the shade. Save. Come on. Oh, share screen down here. It's not in my photos. Let me check there first. Oh, it might be after the islands. Here we go. Yeah, I got it. Boom. Let me share the screen now. So boom, I get this right. So yeah, we towards the end of May at this point. And but by this point, I probably have told my parents, you know what I mean, because I'm lit. Because they don't got too much information in here. The UK information don't matter. But anyway, Costa Express Delivery. If y'all ever see this, yo, bump them. So they sent me this quote, right? It looked decently, it's in my email, decently mapped out. I'm like, all right, I see it. Again, not paying attention to the graphic design, because one thing I do know is you got to have your margins, and there are like zero margins on these left edges. Like you got to tab that in. Can't be having that touching. Like they don't look good. So I'm, that's right. That was it. So I'm looking like, boom, here go the shipping information they sent me. Like I said, so the 1 to 5 day was 13 to 18. 3 to 5 day was 10 to 1,400, right? And it was like, pick up custom fees, shipping door to door, insurance, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, cool. I got the information. But I was like, that's crazy. Like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to be paying for shipping. Also, not working at art handling. That's probably like light for shipping, major artworks or whatever. But either way, I'm like, that's kind of crazy. But like, if they willing to pay that, but I'm trying to look out for my peoples. Tripping. Let me not accept that. But I'm trying to look out for them. It looked like I built my box already because I got height on here. I might have stacked all my artwork as best as I could to measure how long it might be, and like added a couple little inches or whatever, and loosely weighted or whatever. But so I had that, and I just like had some wood and stuff around the crib. I was still using the wood shop just to chop up the wood and get it just to the sizes I needed. So I do some extra research, and let me make sure. No, for whatever. Yeah, it's not too crazy on the info. I should have checked this out before. But I checked out what's my people's name here? UPS. I was like, let me just see what UPS got. That's crazy, right? So I do UPS, and like UPS is like cheapest option was like 7-Eleven. You see around here where the mouse at. You know what I mean? 7-Eleven up to 750. So I'm like, all right, this look a little better. I'm like, this makes sense. Like this is around half, around half of what you would be paying. So I'm like, let me look out for you. Like, so I sent that to homegirl, right? I was like, yo, here goes a shipping option that's cheaper. You might want to go with this. It was like, but then I started talking like, I don't know how much. I was like, I don't know how much they charge you to pick up the artwork, because that's what you said they do, but like it can't be another $700. Like that's wild, you know what I mean? But I was like, well, here goes the option. It was like, nah. She went back and just kind of reiterated, nah, it's not really good. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work well. So it'd be best if you use the other joint. Again, me like not in tune. I'm gonna bring y'all back to why how this is, what the scam actually was. But we're gonna get to that. So, right. So I go with the shipping people, right? I hit them up. They give me the quote. I'm like, yo, all right, I want to go with this quote option. 3 to 5 day joint, blah, 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 blah. They was like, all right, cool. Here goes the information you're going to need. So we started trading, they started sending me the information that I would need to fill in. Had to do a transfer wise thing. So it was like a transfer money thing. I think I had to like maybe convert some money there. And I wonder, dang, how did it work out? They had to, because I was waiting. I got the quote, but I was waiting for, to be able to, I was waiting for the client, the patron, to pay me before I put any money in, right? So I was like, all right, well, this is what I need from that. So I told him, I was like, yo, I need you to, I got the price. And I was like, all right, so it's gonna be up to like, it was almost like $3,500. I was like, all right, here go 35. Boom. This is the quote for the whole thing. And it was like, all right, cool. We start talking, finances. So then we start trading information back and forth. And I'm like, all right, you can use PayPal, whatever, da 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 da. And they was like, yeah, PayPal's a cool work for me. Do that. Sent them an invoice, didn't work. I was like, tried it again, didn't work. I was like, y'all wonder what's going on. Someone wasn't hacking. Then so they suggested another option within PayPal where they got this like virtual terminal thing where you could run a card from wherever you at. But in order to do that, you got to have like a specific type of PayPal account. You got to call up to confirm why you need to use this virtual terminal thing where you can like take people's card information and put it in and they not be, next to you or whatever. So they was running, like they was pitching this idea to me. This is Barbara right here. Barbara's pitching this idea to me, telling me, we might need to do this, and had like all the information set. And I'm like, I don't know why. Either I started questioning or I didn't question why this person was like, knew exactly how that worked. Like when it came to the English, it got real good around that area. But before then, this is like the emails was looking real fishy. They, coming through without periods and all this kind of stuff, or punctuation. It just, type in fast and send it, right? So this is like sense of urgency that occurs because like there's like a couple of gaps in here where I wasn't responding and I was getting kind of hounded with some emails like, yo, I haven't heard from you. I haven't heard from you. I'm like, yo, chill. Like I'm getting it together. Like this is not an easy process. This is me going back to saying nothing comes that quickly or easily. Like if somebody really wants something from you, they'll take the time and be patient about it. For real, for real. So yeah, that was that going on. I'm like, yo, this is kind of making me feel uncomfortable, but I'm gonna fight through it. You know what I mean? It's something new, get uncomfortable. You know what I tell you about like getting uncomfortable situations is when you like learn whatever. Sometimes, but like, it's not, you gotta just stay comfortable. You know what I mean? So then, so we on there, we're doing the VR terminal joint, right? I figure it out. I set it up. And then it was like, yeah, so like for a test, you need to like run a dollar, see if it works, blah, blah, blah. I run my test. I think my test worked. Oh, no, it didn't. I ran my test to see if, it worked. It didn't work. And so I had to go through some things. I think I had to call in to figure it out. And eventually over a couple of tries, I got the thing to work. So I was like, yeah, I got it to work now. So you can send me the information. And it was like, yeah, I'm gonna send you the information. Then I need you to delete the information, card information after. And it was like, kind of like, okay, we're gonna build this trust or whatever. You're gonna send me your card and I'm not gonna run your card or some other stuff. And so I was like, I mean, I'm not a bad person. I got morals, so I'm not gonna just do somebody like that. But what I did do is I deleted the email, but I saved the information. Whether I wrote it down or like screenshotted it, so I'm gonna put it in a different file because I was like, as fishy as it's getting, I need a little contingency right here. So I put it, set it aside, boom. Put the information in, it ran it. My PayPal jumping at this point, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, fire. Now I can do the shipping information and get that popping. So boom, PayPal jumping. I do the shipping. Mind you, all right, the information I needed for the car was like expiration date, location, and the number, right? And the weird part was that the car information, like the location, like where the car was, the zip code or whatever, was local, but as in the United States and not somewhere else. So I was like, what's this about? And so again, I'm starting to play and make assumptions like, oh, maybe this person's from the state, they're expat, they live in the UK, they're doing blah blah blah, or they're married, blah blah blah, and they're doing this. So I'm like, all right, cool, maybe that's what it is. So I'm running, and I'm like, all right, cool, maybe it's fine. I ran the car. I was like, whatever. That's what I'm saying. Now my PayPal jumping. Got out my PayPal, and it was like, all right, we need to do the shipping thing or whatever. So I'll go through the shipping joint, blah 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 blah. I'm talking to them. I'm like, all right, this is what I need to do. And that's when I started doing the transfer of the money for the shipping and all that. Got all that popping. They sent me mad, card information for a bank account and all that, like stuff that should not be in emails. Let me just keep it 100. This stuff should not be in emails, especially not like encrypted or saved ones. Luckily, none of my information was in there, but the other people's information or the banks or whatever information was in there. So I'm like, whatever. So I'm like, it was kind of weird. I went back and forth with these different people at these banks now. And those different names I'm dealing with now, like these banks, bank name, blah, blah, blah. They talking to me, we getting it together. So I'm like, cool. It's starting to seem a little legit. It's like, the bank got to be somewhat legit. I think I looked the bank up too, and I was like, this bank exists. All right, that makes sense. So boom, we cool. We do that. we come out of that situation. I think, I spent the whatever, 12, $1,000 or whatever for the shipping. Spent that with through the PayPal account, money that was sent. Matter of fact, no, I don't think I ever sent that money. I started to send. No, I transferred. I remember it did. I transferred. I started setting up the account. I started to do did the transfer, and then once that was successful, right. So June 2nd, it was hounding about that. I paid shipping, set up, right. All right, the wire thing, money exchange. So this is like June 2nd, June 3rd, right? So a couple days later, once the thing is like going through, I think the first transaction went through, right? Barbara hit me up again. She hit me with a double up. She was like, yo, did I say I saved the email. This one is hilarious. I got it. These emails are funny. I was weak, bro. And like, this shouldn't be funny, but I'm cool. I lived through it. I'm good. So she hit me with another email, right? Here we go. Hi, Mensah. Please email you today. Appreciate being kept updated, blah, blah, blah. Right. So yeah, I could not get back to my email earlier because family members are around and in preparation for my father-in-law birthday celebration, right? Bringing in these things that you can relate to, right? Trying to like keep your minds like, all right, boom. This is where I start like, because in a professional email, you're gonna make sure that your grammar and stuff is right. And like, I don't like, it's a pet peeve of me when somebody doesn't capitalize a I when it's the personal kind, you know what I mean? Like if you're talking about I, like me, you know what I mean? Like you need to capitalize that every time it's used, not just the beginning of the sentence. Those things are pet peeves for me. Like grammars are pet peeves for me at most times. New development came up in my house. Said my work is calling jealousness in the crib. Husband is very, very jealous about not purchasing any of the artwork for him. He told me earlier that he was interested in the artwork, but I never knew he was serious about it. And now he insists on purchasing his own art and that is shipped along with the first purchase, but his own additional purchase should be boxed and packaged separately, right? So they want to ship them both at the same time, but build a new box, ship his artwork. And so I was like, all right, I'm looking at that, and it was like I have to adhere to his opinion by purchasing his own. Therefore, I want to get back to you with the availability and cost confirmation of this artworks below. This, not these. This artworks below. And any discount would be most appreciated. What? Then my husband intends we give some to his father as a birthday gift, right? So you sent me a list of like 8 more pieces off my website, right? It was a long list. I ain't gonna show you. It's not that serious. Did I hit her back? Oh, this is part of the email too. Oh no! I know what it is. I think that was a separate day, right? No. This is the same email. Or same, but I'm gonna get it up. So send me the list. I hit her back like these artworks aren't available. I was like, some of these artworks are in exhibitions or plan to be in exhibitions, so that's not gonna happen. And I was like, it was only one piece that was available in that list. And so she hit me back and was like, well, can you send me a list of what is available, and I could he can pick from there. And I sent her a list. I think I sent her like 2 more pieces. It was 3 totals. Like, here go 3 pieces that are available, I think from our website that he could have. And then she was like, okay, run with that. All right. And this again, she started hounding. I mean, hit me with I need an answer. You know what I mean? It's like, so I want you to get back to me as soon as possible because my husband insists on his own art is shipped along with my own so that peace can reign in the house. LOL XXX. I don't know you. Don't be LOLing with me. I've been looking forward to hearing from you ASAP so that we can give you the payment and get it packed and contact the courier that we are purchasing more art and we want to ship it along with the initial purchase. Look for it, whatever. So she's telling me to make sure. So she's like, P.S. Here you go. This one wants to get me. Email the courier right away of the development that we are purchasing more art and want them to ship it as well. So they should hold on with the pickup schedule until we settle the bill for the new purchase. And I think at this point I had like a pickup schedule. So I was like, all right, cool. And so I'm like, all right, no doubt. I think I told her, like, I'll just pack it with the rest of the stuff, right? Like there were 3 small artworks. So I was like, I'll just pack it with the other package. It's not necessary to have them separately packaged. Let's keep it chill. It was one thing I didn't add in there. There was a point when like I had the shipping costs, right? And shipping costs usually based on length, width, height, weight, right? Those 4 things. And then they hit me up and was like, yo, we got what did they hit me up? It was there were, I wanted to like add another 20 pounds because there was some reason I was questioning about that. So like I got the same size object, just 20 pounds heavier, and it was like it would be the same cost. I was like, dang, just off the rip, it's the same cost. It's not. So whatever, that's what that was. And so right, we talking to her about her husband, blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, cool, we'll do it. We already know the process, so let's run it. I think I gave her another couple of prices of things, blah blah blah. She was like, all right, cool. She was like, all right, here go another card. Run this card. Send me a new card information. And that's where this ended. Send me the new card information. It was completely different card information. And remember, I saved the original joint. I think it was like the first joint was like in California or something, but I saved the original joint. And I think I just saved like the address of the original. I think I might have saved the number, but I noticed it was a different card number, different zip code location. And that didn't sit well with me at all. I'm like, this is too far apart. Ain't no way both of y'all's cars are like in the US and they're not even like in the same state. So now you tripping. Matter of fact, I think one was on the East Coast and the other was on the West, or like West on the West. So I was like, nah, B, you tripping. Now you wild. Nah. So I look up both. I Google Maps these 2 locations, and then both like empty plots almost. They're really just like government sites. I'm just like, oh no. What I just do, right? So this is getting super scary, super questionable, or yeah, whatever, super scary at this point. I'm like, yo, this is not nobody's house. This ain't nobody's, this doesn't exist. Like this, it just looked like a government building in the middle of nowhere, like Area 51 or something. Like I was like, nah, B, this is too weird. I don't like this. So then at this point I said, we done. I didn't even reply no more. I just stopped contacting them. I shut it down. Didn't contact them no more. I think I might have got like 2 more emails from Barbara, BC, whoever it was, trying to figure out, hey, what's up? I ain't hearing from you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you ain't gonna hear from me because this is over. This is done. And my biggest woe was that somebody was gonna show up at my house, talk about they was trying to pick up some packages, right? That was the thing that scared me the most too. But at this point, once I knew this was like kind of weird or out of pocket, I was like, I'm not ready to lose this artwork. Oh, I didn't get into that. This is one of the additional learned lessons from this moment. So as an artist, right, we tend to love and hold on to the things that we create. We don't, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for us to get to the point where we're ready to start selling our artwork because we hold on to it. We're like, nah, this is my one. Like, I love all these. So it's this attachment we have to it. So it's hard for us to detach from our creations. But the point of the artwork is to, give back to the people, to get to for them to see your vision and your experience through your own eyes, and they can relate to it, blah, blah, blah. There's all of that, right? There's art. So being that the money was here and it was going, so whatever, I had some pieces that I had, held near and dear to myself, but I was like, for the money, it don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it can go. So I learned a lesson of being able to like let go of something that I might never ever see again, right? Because it wasn't for me. So the biggest thing I learned from this was how to get past that attachment to my work, to be able to create it and see it be sold, and somebody else can live with it, and it not, like I can always create more artwork. That's what my passion is the journey and not the product, right? That's what they say. So it's not the product that I'm so invested in, but for me, like being able to see my artworks in a space where I'm working, I get to like study them. And so that's part of what my attachment is. It's not the actual piece and what it looks like. It's some of it is just being able to relate back to the process and study and relook at it so I can, think about reusing those processes on new works or whatever else, or know where I was at that time. So I was like, nah, I'm not shipping this artwork nowhere. I'm just gonna stop talking to them. But the other weird part was that I had taken this money now, right? My PayPal's still jumping. And so at this point, I was like, all right, I'm gonna move this money out of my PayPal because I don't want nothing going on in there. So let me just move it out, put it in my account, and let it sit. And let me, let it sit for a while, let it be whatever. And so that was the end of that, right? That was the end of the scam. They played into my emotions. They got me, interested, blah, 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 blah. But at this point, I'm like, yo, like if it was a scam, like they didn't get nothing out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like I still profited out of this, and the money that I was sent is the money that I used to pay for the shipping. So I hadn't lost out on this point. So I'm like, it's whatever. So I'm just like, I'm gonna just sit and hold on it, blah, blah, blah. Let it lean back. Anyway, so we get to the end of this story, right? Months later, I go to use my PayPal account to pay for something, right? Because I just didn't feel like putting in my card information. It was right there, and I remember my password at this point. So I log in. It's not working. It's not taking my PayPal. I'm like, why are you not taking my PayPal information? Why are you not blah, blah? So I go to PayPal. I'm like, let me check PayPal. Maybe something wrong with the PayPal website. I go to PayPal, and I'm in the heavy red. And I'm not liking it. I'm not enjoying it at all. So I was like, yeah, this ain't cool. Something ain't right. What? And I knew because like the number reflected the money that I just got put in there. So I was like, I know where this is from, but I don't like this because this means I owe somebody money somehow. I don't get it. So I think what happened was, well, obviously, whatever the card information I was given at first transaction, because I only used that one card's information. So whatever information I used through that, those people filed their complaint. They got their money back from PayPal, and PayPal was coming to get their money back from me. So I called up because I was like, nah, I got scammed. I shouldn't have to pay for this. So I pulled out all my information because remember I saved a lot of this information, put it to the side. So I saved all this information because I was like, yeah, I need my contingencies. Put that down, blah, 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 blah. But I'm a person that's more understanding of a situation and my responsibility and what role I played in it. So I will take my responsibility as opposed to trying to like fight and pretend like I didn't do something wrong here, or I wasn't neglected, or I wasn't neglectful, or I wasn't ignorant. Like ignorance doesn't get you off on things. Like just because you didn't know doesn't mean that you don't got to pay for it. Like it's your fault for not doing the research or information. You know what I mean? So like fool me once, fool me twice situation. So so I called just to see. I called just out of like courtesy. Like I got to see if I can figure this out, so where I wouldn't have to deal with this. Called, told the people the story, and they was like, we see the situation. It's unfortunate that happened to you. Blah blah blah. But that ain't got nothing to do with us. Like that was on you. You fell for it, and now you're paying for it. And so it didn't come out that way, but that was the reality of it. So got off the phone with with PayPal, and luckily, like I said, like I set that money aside, didn't spend it. Luckily, I was working and stuff, so I had money myself. So I just had to suck it up and was like, all right, well, that money that I thought was sitting here that had me sitting kind of pretty, time to put you right back. So I, balanced out my PayPal account, got that back in the blue, I guess. It was just zero. It definitely wasn't green. So I got that back, settled, and just had to suck it up. Like that was it. That was pretty much the end of it. Never heard from BRC Outlook email before. I was even Googling like that email account, trying to figure out like, yo, I think, did I forget to say something that I meant to say? I was supposed to remember something, but it's cool. It's cool. So that was pretty much the size of it, So again, like the point is, the educational purpose of this is to tell you all, as artists, as creatives, because I got inspired to do this because I was watching that show The Con with Whoopi Goldberg and seeing like how that was, how people was using that to like play people and play into their emotions and get them thinking they blah blah blah. It started with that Firefest episode. You've seen it, did a Firefest episode, and that had me weak. But then there was another one that was more similar to me, where there was like some actors or people working in the film industry that had gotten like schemed by this one dude that had people like you know, he was impersonating people. He had people like flying out to like different countries and giving them to like give out, you know, $1,000s here, and like the way they were or the way that the person was like using the everybody's like potential come up. Like the one dude, one person was like a makeup artist, and it was like on their way of building up their career, and so that person got kind of bought into the idea, because like when you're close enough, when you feel like you're close enough to like that next level, you think that like one of those calls that you get is going to be the one. So somebody comes in and tells you they are somebody and they're going to do this for you, essentially. It can get you thinking that, all right, cool, but you got to find your ways to like vet those situations, like and do your best at it to like, you know, most situations just ignore it. Like I just had a friend like post on Facebook, one of those, like, you know, people get these all the time. So this was the first time I really gotten one of these, and I've gotten, you know, multiple since then. I was just like, yeah, nah, we cool. We're not even gonna entertain that. Like you gotta be vigilant in like getting more information before giving out any of your information to find out if it's serious, you know. And in the arts, like everybody wants to be able to sell their artwork at some point. So when that starts to happen, you think it's gonna be a thing, it's gonna pop off, and it doesn't. It don't come that easy. I've been in the game for a bit, and I've learned what works best for me is like more personal relationships. Like I go to meet gallery owners, or I go to, you know, museums and volunteer and work, or, you know, I apply to programs. Like I just go the most like legitimate looking route. Like if I gotta apply for something and I gotta, you know, put a resume or a CV or a portfolio together and send something through like a specific website or email that I can like vet, and that's the route I'm going. Like don't take all of those emails to your personal thing as gold. Like it ain't that easy. And also this was the other thing, like make sure you set up ways to get paid that are legitimate, right? And don't have somebody convince you to try to do something new or different. Most of the ones that you have developed that work, they work. So like get you a Square so that you can run, you know, sales through there, or get a, you know, find an app or something out there, an art app that you can run sales through. You can Cash App if you want. That's a little more like account to account, but I don't know, that could get risky. I don't know, but you know, you can do Cash App, you can do your Venmos. But I still would suggest, like, you know, get you a Square, get you a PayPal, and whatever you're comfortable with in those, you know, spaces. Don't like go get a business account just because somebody told you go get a business one. Whatever you think you can manage, until you understand on your own research what works best. And that way you won't have to deal with people trying to con you out of some money. So like, I think at most what was lost here was I might have lost $1,000 in this process, right? I don't quite remember because I wasn't like bookkeeping that good. So if it worked out where they sent me, you know, $3,500 from this fraudulent card, then I sent that shipping company $1,000, right, into that bank account. So at this point, I'm not down. I'm still making my 2,000 profit. But when PayPal comes around and they're missing $3,000, I got to pay that $3,000 back. So you see where the, you know, simple math, that 2,000 that I was given from whatever account I sent back, that 1,000 that the 2,000 of that got sent back, but that 1,000 that I sent off ended up coming out of my account. So they got me for about 1,000, I guess. But you know, happens in a lifetime, man. People get done up kind of wrong, whatever. Ain't the first time somebody got me for a little money thinking they got, don't get scammed out here. Do your thing. Educational video from Mbeyarts. Don't stick to you, stay true to you. Whatever. Mbey out of here.